Oh, this is so good. Now, we have Mike in from 10th Avenue North, formerly 10th Avenue North, but there was a rumor that the defunct band 10th Avenue North was getting back together, and here on the Wally Show, we only like to believe the rumors we start, and so I want to get to the bottom of this with Mike Donehey, former frontman of 10th Avenue North, to confirm or deny the rumor that 10th Avenue North is indeed back together. What say you, sir?
Can we first start with the word defunct?
Yes.
Can we think of a worse way to describe a band that retires?
Sure.
I saw that in a bio. It was like the defunct. I go, whoa.
Yeah.
Who's defunct?
Oh, did somebody else say that too?
It was in our bio.
No.
I don't know. It got on Wikipedia, I think.
That's funny because that word just came naturally to me.
That's just always how I've described you, Mike, as defunct.
Yeah, I see you, I see defunct.
The rumors are true.
Okay.
10th is back.
Okay, now, so first question is, how am I ever going to believe anything you say again after this?
That's fair.
Because
question.
You're like, okay, hey, we're done. We're calling it quits. Oh, look, we're back. Are you going to rename the band Brett Favre?
Tom Brady. I
Yes.
mean, take your pick. It worked for Tom Brady. I mean, he came back and won a Super Bowl.
Sure.
Our best days are ahead.
Okay, well, let me go through this with you. What led to you guys calling it quits, first of all? In case anybody doesn't know, I mean, it's a grind. So what led to that decision?
Conversation with my wife.
Really?
She said, hey, we have 4 daughters. Pray for me.
Yeah.
And she said, we need you home. You're just gone too much. It's not working. And we were kind of in that process, in that conversation of ccutting back.
Sure.
And I went to the band and I said, hey, I gotta take time off.
Yeah.
And they all went, actually, what you mean actually? And they go, we were waiting for you to say that.
Really? So they all wanted to call it
They
time
all
too.
had other plans. Like Brendan was starting an organic farm with his wife. Jeff was going into film and TV writing. So we're like, oh, well, I guess our spring tour, does it need to be a farewell tour?
Sure.
So we started scrambling, and then COVID happened. So it was just a really weird ending because it didn't feel final.
Right.
It felt a little rushed. And then I've spent a couple years home, and guess what? I had another moment with my wife where she was like, okay, we've had enough of you now.
Yeah, you need to get back on the road.
And so I'm honestly, I called it my Kelly in the kitchen moment. She grabbed me and she goes, you know what? The girls are all in school now. We're in a different season. You're made for this. I think you're gifted for this. I think you're wired for this, and you need to do it.
Really?
And so I went back to the band and I said, hey, does anybody want...
That's good. You still have their numbers?
Oh, no, I
figured when you left, you were just like, peace out, dude.
Listen, I live on the same street as 2 of my former band members.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Me and Jason, our daughters are besties. I mean...
So no drama. Everything was cool.
We're all the original, the Fab Five, as we call them, that most people would assimilate with 10th. We're all getting back together for the Mercy Me cruise in January.
Okay.
So everyone's still on great terms. And then I go, hey, bringing 10th back, who wants to come? And everyone went, no, we're good.
Oh.
So the original guy, those guys aren't coming back on the road, but Jeff and Brendan were just helping us write songs for the new record. And
well, okay, just I'm going to put a pin in this. I got to put a pause in this. Hang on a second.
There's a lot.
So what is the actual deal? Like who's coming back from 10th Avenue North? Or is it literally Mike?
Right.
Mike Donehey.
So I got 2 new guys who are coming. A guy named Monty, who helps do the choir room here in Nashville. He's maybe the most talented piano player I've ever met. And a guy named Thomas, who is in a band called Land of Color. They both were like, hey, if you're bringing 10th back, we're in.
Right.
And they're both insane musicians. And then Jeff and Brendan, we just took a writing trip down to Florida. And so they're all in helping, making music. But
is Jeff going to tour with you? Because I know you and Jeff were like super tight for a lot of years, too.
Oh, we're still super tight.
Right.
And I don't know if you noticed, but Jeff just landed. He wrote and produced the new One Republic Christmas song.
What?
Yeah, that's
no
out.
Way.
Just dropped. And so he's doing awesome. And Jeff was just done road dogging it. And
sure.
So he goes, I'll help make music, but I don't want to be out a face.
Okay.
So he's like a silent partner now.
Okay. So now, is this like a 1-year thing, or you're like, okay, I'm going to do this until your wife tells you again what to do?
I don't want it to come across like that. It's definitely a collaborative conversation.
No, you can let it come across like that. Trust me. No, we know you're not like running that show. We know
that's
that.
true. That's fair. We said in 10th Ave is we're never going to sacrifice our families on the altar of ministry.
That's so smart, man.
And so it's like, look, man, if doing this isn't healthy for my family, then I'll stop doing it.
Right.
But right now it looks like we can do this in a really healthy way. We can do less shows and hopefully in a much more sustainable way.
That's good. Because that brings us to Betty Rock's question that she wrote and handed to me. Betty Rock, are you doing this because you're broke? That was
no. In fact, it's a lot more cost effective to be a solo artist. I just was a solo artist.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Way less people to pay.
Yeah.
Way easier on travel. But I realized I started doing the solo thing. I went, man, I'm a band guy.
Sure.
And what I realized was happening is I would show up, and people didn't think I was going to play the 10th songs, even though I wrote them.
Right.
So they go, well, I guess you're not going to play the 10 songs. I go, oh, man, me showing up as Mike Donehey is confusing people.
Right.
And even telling them a story I don't want to tell them.
Right.
So just by going, no, it's 10th, they can go, oh, great, you're going to play that song. I have this soap.
Right.
You know.
Oh, that would be a great parody song. I have this soap.
You already did it.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? I
You
did.
did.
Oh my goodness, I've even forgotten. So then no wonder I thought it was a great parody
I know your
song.
catalog better than you do.
I guess so. Can I come out on the road with you?
Yes.
So yeah, that's the thing, man. Like I get wanting to be a band guy, and there's that camaraderie. But when the lead singer is the guy that leaves, it's so much easier to come back with 10th Avenue North and you doing it versus if like the drummer is like, hey, 10th Ave's the thing again. It's not the same.
One thing a lot of people wouldn't know is we've actually now had 17 different people in 10th Avenue.
Have you really?
So when we were independent, we were independent 8-9 years before we were signed, and we had a bunch of different people in and out of the band. And so I was actually the only original member left.
Really?
When we retired, yeah.
That is insane. I had no idea.
And I used to kind of take that as a bit of shame, like, what's wrong with me that I can't keep people around?
Right.
But I have a really great relationship with almost everybody who's been in the band, and now I kind of like look at it as a badge of honor of look how many people have carried this with me. And look how many more people it took than me, because I know I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah, like on our show, we've had people come through it that have gone on to do their own things, and you end up being like a mentor, and you're like, oh, I have to take pride in the fact that they went on to do their own thing, and then you get stuck with a couple that can't do anything else, and they stay with you.
Yes.
And so that's where I'm at with Gavin and Betty. But one day,
parent them, you know.
Look, between you, me, and Gavin has a future. Betty, we're not sure about. Okay. I thought it would be fun, Mike, as the lead singer and a guy who knows something about quitting things, like your band, and then reviving them, to do a quiz for you. Okay,
I'm ready.
This is about bands that broke up and then got back together, kind of thing.
Great.
So we're gonna test your musical knowledge here. Here we go.
Let's go.
First, there was Van Halen. Then there was Van Hagar, but there was another extreme singer in the mix there. Can you name him? I'm gonna give you some choices. Okay. Was it Gary Cherone, George Lynch, or Tom Kiefer? This is going to really test your Van Halen knowledge.
I do not have a robust knowledge of Van Halen.
You do not. See, I do.
So I can tell by the way you dress.
I didn't have to look up the answer for this.
I just tell by the way you dress. Tom Kiefer is going to be my guess.
Tom Kiefer. Tom Kiefer is actually the lead singer of the band Cinderella.
Oh, great.
George Lynch was the guitar player for Dawkins, and Gary Cherone.
Gary, that's what I was about to say.
This one you should get. I have the utmost confidence. Listen to this clip. What movie is this clip from?
We're putting the band back together.
You have to know this.
Blues Brothers.
There you go.
Yeah,
okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I figured that. Okay, he's going to get that for sure.
Jeff in our band would quote that all the time.
All right, this 80s girl band did not walk like Egyptians, but they knew how to vacation. Who is it?
I'm going to guess not the Cincinnati, but the Bengals. Not the Bengals?
No.
They don't walk like an Egyptian? That's
they
not the
do,
Bengals?
but the clue was this band did not walk like an Egyptian, but knew how to vacation. The Go-Go's! Seriously? Really?
I'm sorry.
How old are you?
I'm not old enough.
I
Apparently.
guess not. Unbelievable. I thought we were closer in age than this. Like, this is all my
Oh
stuff.
no, there's a huge disparity between us.
You're like, I'm still young and look good. All right. That 70s band that took it to the limit when they played, they actually fought like off stage and stuff. And after a decade hiatus, they decided to take it easy and start playing again. What do you think? 70s band. Huge band.
The Eagles.
Yes,
The
there
Eagles.
you go.
Take it to the limit. Yeah.
One more time. There we go.
So good.
And the final question here. Never mix business and family, but we are so thankful that this band of brothers put their differences aside before the year 3000 and gave us more music.
The Jonas Brothers?
Yes,
Okay.
Joe Bros!
I went to that show
Did
in
you really?
Nashville, and my girls got to meet them.
No way.
And I didn't meet them because I was busy meeting Jim Nance. My girls are actively meeting the Jonas Brothers, which is cool. I beeline it for Jim Nance.
Oh, that's so funny.
And he was the nicest guy.
It's always nice when you meet your heroes, like, or people that you know or you think you know, and they exceed your expectations.
Yes.
I always love that. There's certain people I've not wanted to interview over the years because I was afraid that it would let me down, kind of thing.
okay.
Or if it went well, they wouldn't think good of me.
I got you.
And so, fortunately, I've never had that fear with you.
Yeah, I just don't think well of you. But,
Yeah.
but
And you're
we
not
know-
that big in my world
Yeah,
either.
it's
so.
perfect.
Mike from 10th Avenue North, always a pleasure. We appreciate you coming in, man.
Classic.